We should be live, and I'm hoping that it opens it up for me so I can easily just copy and paste and redrop the link. Boom. Okay, so yep, gave us a new link. No worries, people.
Hopefully the wind doesn't make it too hard to hear.
I said pink. I said pink. New link above. Boom. That's that. Boom. Okay, so I dropped it a couple times, a couple different places. That one's not going to start. They're bouncing. They're leaving. And the wife is in the building. Gorgonzola, what's up, brother? How you doing? Do you have the stream available to you?
Me?
PJ? Yeah.
No, I'm not seeing anything.
Okay. Okay. Let me close this.
Here we go. View stream. I got it.
There you go. Okay, that way you can see questions too. I don't have to gear them up on myself. But hello, welcome everyone. What's up, Chris from SoCal Lawn and Order? You and PJ have something in common. We'll get into that here in a second. AJ's Green Topics. What's going on, brother? Gorgonzola already spoke to you. Jenny Coleman, hello. Happy Sunday, everyone. Right? Happy Sunday, everyone. Today we have the wonderful PJ. She's out of Virginia. And if you didn't notice, she's a chick, right? And she's in this lawn care game and she's crushing it. And let me take a moment just to talk about why she's here today, because I know you're like, you know, there's a lot of channels out there on YouTube, as we were discussing before we went live. Why her? What is it about her that you like so much, Turf or Rob, whichever one you want to call me? I like both names, by the way. Hey, Turf is a dope nickname. Thank you for whom all deemed me with that nickname. Hey, Tony and Dolores, how y'all doing? You said not happy, I'm at work. Gross, Chris. You go out there and protect and serve, though, brother. Grace Ortiz in the building. Hey, Grace, how you doing?
Hey, Grace.
But the thing that there was two things that jumped out to me the moment that I stumbled across PJ's channel, which is GirlzLawn. I dropped, well, the link was in the original video that YouTube wouldn't let me bounce to, but no worries. We're going to pull it up right here. And I'm going to share the link to it right now. Hey, Sue, how you doing? How are you doing? Like, how you doing? I hope you're well. Bless you for coming in here and spending a little time with us. And I need to message you. Got some things I want to share with you. But I really like PJ because one, she's a female. Two, her yard looks amazing. And if I had to add a third thing, it would be she does it the way she does her videos. They're very short, usually less than 8 minutes. They're simple, straight to the point, and she does it the simplest way possible. That is what she's all about. Like, she simplifies it to a point where she can get it going, do her thing, and she shares her passion with you while she's doing it. She's been through a few different things that we're going to talk about here today. I just wanted to give you that good foundation. There's not a lot of women in lawn care at the very least on YouTube. So for her to be on here, and I know that there's a lot of females out there who really want to take their lawn into their own hand, but you know, it seems a little daunting, especially when you stumble across a channel like mine and I'm putting down stuff that, you know, is just way over your head or just hard to conceptually grasp and whatnot. So I want to introduce you to her. So you have another option that I like, I approve of, Turf Therapy certified, stamped and approved, and let her break it down to how she gets to do what she does out in Virginia. So you're in Virginia, PJ, and you have Turf Type Tall Fescue.
Yes.
Right.
It has some other stuff mixed in there, but it's not relevant in my opinion.
Yeah, we'll get to that too, because we have that in common. Virginia has great soil. Let's start. There we go. We got a statement already. how do you feel about the soil in Virginia where you are? I'm sure you already did a few soil tests. My camera is not wanting to cooperate.
Yeah.
There we go.
So so this, I've been in this place for about 2 years. It was a new construction, and so they put down some sod. They didn't put down topsoil, so I'm fighting that clay soil in Virginia, and it's been a tough battle, honestly. I think the using the biostems have kind of helped with that, but yeah, I don't know any other type of soil because I've only been doing this for 2 years. So I don't have any experience in battling anything else. But I tell you that clay is not happy time.
Right. And it kind of, I mean, that was a perfect comment to make following what we just discussed with Mark last night, right? So we talked about the soil and how they come in on these new constructs and they rob you of your beloved topsoil, and they sell it, right, for money, and then they put some trash down and throw your sod on top of it, and then good luck sod to thrive and do what it wants to do or needs to do to be able to produce a beautiful lawn. But you're just trying to get to the point where you get to the soil humification part, where your soil, that clay soil, is releasing, because it's nutrient rich, most likely, but it's in a form that really isn't readily available to your plant. So you have to continuously encourage it by adding organic materials in your cultural practices to reach the process of soil humification, where you rebuild that topsoil. And your weapon of choice, you kind of already hinted towards it, is the next, my goodness, I'm struggling. Greene County for next fertility lineup, and specifically their biostem package is what you've been using for the past, how long? For about a year? 2 years?
About 2 years, yeah. Because I mean, my grass was totally, it was trash. It was trash. But yeah, that's really, the aerate has really helped for me. So and I do the whole package, the whole biostem pack, and I have been doing it like once a month. If I get an itch where I
want to, up on me a little bit. Did we lose you? Hope we didn't lose you.
I'm still here. Can you hear me?
There you got me? Okay, yeah, we're good. You caught up. Cool.
All right, yeah. So I usually drop it like once a month, unless I get a little itch where I just feel like spraying, and I'll just go out there and spray some biostem randomly. But yeah, so I definitely advocate for it, for sure. I know that there's other humic products, other liquid aeration out there, but this works for me, so I stick with
it. It works for you. It's financially reasonable. And you're seeing results. And it's easy. Really easy. What we got over here? I'm glad she's in the game. This is what Chris from SoCal on the Northern says. I'm glad she's in the game. We need more women. They are smarter than us guys. That's facts. They are. So there you go. You already got one kudos, PJ.
Thank you.
Elevated Lawnscapes and the realest state of minds. What's going on? He said, what's up, Turf and PJ? Grace Ortiz, pH is usually low in VA. Hi, Miss Craft. How you doing? Good to see you. I follow many YouTubers, but Tall Fescue is where I seek for more information. Cool. Yeah, and she's Tall Fescue, so that's perfect. And speaking to the pH is usually low in Virginia, well, you just dropped the video like 30 minutes ago. Right?
I did.
She just dropped the video 30 minutes ago, and I don't remember if I ended up finishing the video or not. But I know it's first. That's what matters. But I remember hearing before I finished it or I stopped and had to multitask a little bit. You just tested your father's lawn, right?
Yep, front and back.
You use the My Soil test kit, well, the yard mastery version of the My Soil test kit, and he had low pH, didn't he?
Yeah, so the back had low pH. The front was great. The front, his pH was good, but the back was under 6, which is what mine was. So I kind of have an idea of how to treat it. Give him some lime. I did try that Jonathan Green Magic Cow this year.
Okay. Yeah.
Hopefully, I'll get another for my yard. I'll get another soil test in probably the end of February.
Okay. So you're gonna go with gypsum, calcium sulfate, I imagine.
Yeah.
Because that would hopefully also help correct your sulfur issue. And
that's what I was looking for. That's the information I was looking for.
all right, there you go. Like if you use the calcium sulfate, that will help correct that sulfur issue. And sulfur is an extremely important micronutrient. It really drives the blast on nitrogen uptake. It's going to help your grass actually, your turf, your soil is going to be that foundation and nutrient that really allows it to absorb the nitrogen it needs. So
Yeah.
I think you'll be on the right path with the calcium sulfate. And I'd shoot JP a message, or you shoot JP a message, send him your soil test. He will help you. The dude's usually pretty responsive, so he might have a few other tricks up his sleeve where he can drive you into a more specific area for sure.
Cool.
Yeah, I definitely do that. So, so we kind of put the cart before the the horse before the cart. We put the horse before the cart. Let's rewind a little bit. Now, you started doing your lawn care 2 years ago. What made you do it? Like, why did you start? What made PJ say, you know what? I'm not going to hire anyone. I'm not sure if you had someone hired before or not, but you were just like, you know what? I'm about to get out here and get to it. What was the driving factor that made that decision? What made it easy for you to make that decision?
So it's really interesting because it wasn't an easy decision. Prior to moving into this house, I was in a townhouse. I owned a townhouse for 7 years. So I didn't have to do any lawn work. And I didn't want to. And even in the townhouse, I was trying to get rid of the little bit of grass that I had because I didn't want to deal with it. So
right.
a few years ago, we moved here. And, when you move, it's a big financial stress. So it was basically decide between a pest control service or lawn service. And I just didn't want to deal with any chemicals. I felt, I have little ones. I wanted that to be done right. So I didn't want to mess with that. So I was like, all right, it's time to tackle this lawn. Let's see what we can do. So that's what I did. I hopped on, Google. Google is my best friend. I'm an IT person, so Google is my best friend anyway. But I hopped on there and I found Alan Hain, and that started it off.
Always the first time. Yeah, that's always the first stop. Always the first stop. And I imagine you picked up his cool season lawn care guide.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that thing, that is the foundation. That book will give you all the foundation you need to establish in yourself as far as some foundational knowledge to point you, to allow you to take that and go to crazy levels to like where I'm at. Because if you want to know where I started with my local extension office and Alan Hain's Cool Season Lawn Care book. It's worth its weight in gold. I assure you. This is that is warm. Thanks. Oh, it's currently 69 degrees. Yes, it's pretty. I don't know if it's 69 out there anymore because it's the sun's going down. So storm about to kick in. Tiffany White's in the building. She said, "Hey, another lady." I know, Tiffany. Look, I brought another lady. Here we go. So if you guys aren't familiar with Tiffany, she's pretty dope. Go check out her channel. She's working with a battle that, maybe she'll come on the channel this winter and explain to you what she's been going through. Hey, Tiffany, how's your lawn going along? Good, thank you. I redid the vanity strip to take down to get a true level. Okay, I look forward to your update video. Boom. So you got into lawn care because it was a financial choice. You had to make the choice between applying chemicals and you have your little, your young ones. And you knew for yourself, you were like, well, I'm not really trying to play with chemicals. And I'd rather that be done by the pros. So I know that it's done the proper way. And that's one thing that you don't have to worry about. So you'll tackle the lawn. So you jumped on Google. Google is your friend. You found Alan Hain. You got the Cool Season Guide. And then you got you some next GCI County Fert products. And from there you went. Now,
oh man, I went down a rabbit hole, dude. Like seriously, I was buying up everything, and I was like, wait, no, this is not how you do it. But yeah, it allowed me to try a whole bunch of things, and I got really active in the Facebook groups and those types of things. And initially, it's funny how that worked because initially that was really cool being active in that group and getting the feedback. But lately, I've kind of gravitated towards YouTube because there's just too much fighting in those groups now.
So it's a little biggerish.
Yeah, and I can't say I'm a fangirl one way or the other. I learned a lesson early on. And like I said, put a lot of money into stuff. And I just learned this lesson, like, okay, slow down, try these things out. I have 6,000 square feet that I'm working with. The back, I'm not so concerned about. So I use that as my testing ground. I was like, just slow down, test it out, see what works best for you. And that's kind of what I did. And I think going into the season next year, I have a much better plan, because honestly, my goal is to be as organic. I want my yard to be as organic as possible and not cost me a crap ton of money. I like mowing. I like spraying. I like dropping fert, but I want to do it smart. You know what I mean? And save some money. So
save some money and have as little impact on the ecosystem as possible.
Exactly.
Right. I can dig it. I can dig it. So let's talk about, so you went full throttle, you went full steam ahead, and you said, slow down. So I imagine you felt like you either made some poor decisions, or you learned a few things the hard way, or you wasted some money. Let's talk about some of those things. Where, because I already saw you go through your sprayer debacle. Like, let's talk about that for a moment. Like, you had like 4 different sprayers lined up. How and why did that, walk us through that process? How did that happen? How did you end up finding the one that works well for you at that affordable price?
I mean, it was a painful process. I just didn't know. I would have to attribute a lot of it to the ortho sprayer. That thing's put me through it. So I literally got 8 of those before I stopped myself and was like, this is insane. You know, you had to modify it. You had to do all these things. So, and that was one of the mistakes I made. I saw people talking about it. It's this great sprayer, get it. And I'm like, well, it has to work, because all these people are saying that it works, but it never worked for me. So I stumbled on the Chameleon. Well, not stumbled on it. I saw it online. And it works so much better for me, you know, for spraying the biostem. And the biostem for me in my yard is the most important. So that's what I was gearing my equipment towards. And I do have a sprayer. That 4-gallon pump sprayer was not a good idea for me. That manual sprayer, I mean, my back was like killing me. So, but I do like the battery backpack sprayer that I now have. And I think my setup is perfect now. I don't need to buy anything else. For the spraying.
You're good to go. Yeah, I agree. So the Chameleon, I think the Chameleon sprayer, the hose-in sprayer is what we're referring to. These are 2 different hose-in sprayers. We got the Chameleon, we got the Ortho, and both of them have their pros and cons. The Ortho, believe it or not, I've actually had better success with the Ortho.
Yeah.
But I like the Chameleon because it's ergonomically more comfortable to spray with. And the only issue I had with the Chameleon, now that I'm thinking about it, was that quick connect that was on there.
Yeah.
It would always like leak. It would just be like water would come off of it. And that could have been an easy fix, right? I could have just put some, what's that tape that you put around the shower head and probably screwed it on. That probably would have fixed the issue. But then I went off and I grabbed the Ortho. I did the little beep boop and, cut the filter, and then I used that. And I used that all the way up into, all right, AJ, see you later. Thanks for popping in. I used that all the way up into the point where I switched over to Simple Lawn Solutions.
Okay.
Now, the hose-in sprayers that Simple Lawn Solutions have are legit. So they spray out every single time, and that's why I don't even bother with the Ortho or even the Chameleon anymore. And when I finally put your stickers in the mail, I promise you I will do it tomorrow. I'm going to send you, because I'm pretty sure I already told you I was going to send you some of them so you can try them out. So I'm going to send you a few of those. I'll send you 1 bottle, and then I'll send you a few different nozzles that you can play with to see how you like those as well. As far as just using it as a hose-in sprayer, they're the best ones I've ever used.
Yeah, I see Grace says she's only bought 1. I bow down to you if you've only bought 1 Ortho sprayer.
Bought 1. Yeah, and she put a quick
$70 richer than me.
You said Tiffany White. She said yes, I did mine with a handheld 1-gallon manual pump and pump B&G. That sucked. Yeah, no one like manual pumping is for the birds. The Ortho was a no-go for me, so I jumped to a 4-gallon battery backpack. Yeah, so before I stumbled across Simple Lawn Solutions, that's what I did. I went and I bought the Ryobi 4-gallon backpack sprayer, which worked fine for me until I realized that there was a whole world of tips out there, and I was able to take my Cadillac and turn it into a freaking Lamborghini.
Yeah.
When it came to the realm of the Ralby, like I just got a whole new backpack sprayer just from switching out the tip. Then after that, you know, I ended up with that Jack though, and that Jack though is I mean it's a Ferrari out the box, but you know you're gonna have to pay for that. It is what it is. You know, if you can afford it, then more power to you. If not, there's definitely cheaper options. And PJ would be here. She's here to show you and prove to you that you can do it with people have had success by doing less, and she's one of those people for sure.
Yep.
Yeah. So we talked about your sprayer debacle. What would be the number one? So like let's dial into why I really want you on here. And for about, let's say 2 minutes, I want you to speak specifically to the females that may be watching right now or may catch this replay, some words of encouragement, some advice on where to start, and really, you know, inspire them, lift them up, make them feel like they can do this. Because I mean, I'm a dude, so I can't really relate to what it's like. And you know, where you started, because like you said, you didn't like grass at all. You wanted to get rid of it, and then all of a sudden, you fell in love. So,
you know, I think I'm not sure it's something that, you know, it's specifically that I can pinpoint and inspire anybody. I think my situation was more just the lack of exposure to it. And I mean, I actually have allergies and things, so I had plenty of reasons not to be, you know, out in the lawn. But it's just, I think that everyone should give it a try, because especially these days, everyone's so wound up, and you know, you have all the stress and everything happening, and you would just be amazed at the release of stress that you can have if you're focusing on something like your yard, and then the reward when it does start to come to fruition. And I mean, it's unbelievable. And as far as male versus female, obviously, you know, I will say a male's mind is totally different than a female's mind. So when Alan starts doing the calculations and all of that stuff, I zone out. I completely zone out. It's just
that's why I made that.
But and with that in mind, I'm zoning out on the calculations and those things, but I found other ways to figure out how to calculate what I need to put in my lawn and those types of things like that. And I mean, the equipment, obviously, you know, make sure you have the right equipment for yourself, because that's going to make the job a lot easier. A pump sprayer or a battery sprayer versus a manual sprayer. Obviously, we want a battery sprayer. I'm a small person, so I can't lug around a whole bunch of equipment. That's why I actually prefer the 3-gallon sprayer over the 4-gallon. Just small things like that, just making those adjustments. But there's not a distinct difference between a male and a female doing this. It's about desire.
I like it.
You know? So if you want that gratification, then just give it a shot. Just make sure you have the right stuff, because the last thing you want to do is go out there and try on the first time and initially and just get discouraged because your ortho sprayer doesn't work.
Right.
So I mean, that's the biggest thing for me, you know.
Right.
I ran into a lot of brick walls when I started, but I was determined.
But you was determined. Why were you determined?
Because
what was the driving factor? To
be honest, like I was a member of the groups and things, and I saw people were not only posting their successes, they were posting their failures. So it's like, you know, this happened to me, but this happened eventually, kind of thing. So those types of things for me were encouraging.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Right. So, and plus I'd spent a lot of money for the stuff, and you know,
you're like, I'm about to use this stuff.
Yeah,
we about to figure this out.
Yeah. So
right tools make all the difference, right, Tiff? That's why, I mean, Tiff was out there swinging around a jackhammer, 105 pounds soaking wet. That was some impressive stuff. So, I mean, she did it though. She did it, and she had the right tool, and she handled it like a boss. She let the tool do the work instead of trying to work the tool. So that was dope. So talk about failures. What was probably your most like? What was the failure that almost made you say, you know what? Forget the budget. Call in the pro. I'm done with it.
Well, so that happened probably early, the end of spring this year, actually.
Okay. I think I know what happened.
No matter something was happening, and I'm still not 100% sure. I think there's like too much iron or something, but my grass was actually turning black. And I was Googling, I couldn't find like black grass. I was like, what is happening right now? And it was going through the forums and I couldn't figure out what was going on. And I think I stumbled on a post about iron burn.
Mm-hmm.
So
were you applying iron?
I wasn't. And that was what was interesting to me. I got my soil test back and my iron was over 100. And I was like, how? I mean, I still have no idea how that's the case, because I did buy iron, but I never applied just iron to my yard. So I was thinking fert burn, a combination of things. I just didn't know what it was, but I was ready to give up because it wasn't making that turn.
Right.
And finally what I did, I just stopped. I stopped doing anything.
Right.
And we got a bunch of rain, it recovered. And then I was able to start from scratch.
And
but I was ready to throw in the towel.
I'm willing to bet whatever topsoil that version of that grading soil that they brought in probably was just higher in iron. And maybe when you started throwing those biostems on it, it released it and you got exactly what you said. A whole bunch of huge iron uptake that was black. Last year around late summer, early fall, right before I started my channel, I hit my lawn with a ridiculous amount of iron. And it almost did the same thing. I saw it on the edge and I had to back off of it and literally do nothing and just let it self-recover itself. So yes, this is a lot of gratification seeing a good looking lawn. Yeah, it is. And
because once
right tools for the job make all the difference for sure.
Yeah, I stopped. I paused on it for a minute. And then when I decided to go back to it, I threw some, because of my soil test showing low potassium, I threw some STX DIY on it.
Yeah.
And it came back beautifully.
Yeah.
It just came to life. But I think had it not, I can't be, that person to say I would have just pushed through it. Had it not come back after that, I don't know what would have happened.
Like, I'm done. I'm sick of this. They're lying to me. These people are lying. Why are they lying? This orthodilin is the worst. Is the worst.
Yeah.
Right. So you also made a trip to your local extension office as of recently this season. Tell the people about that. Why did you go? I know it's a sensitive topic. I can relate to it. I promise you. I can go in the back right now and still show you how I can relate to it in little specs. But the job that I did early in the spring definitely stopped a lot of it in its tracks. And of course, I'll be sending you a nice little goodie that hopefully gives you an edge next year. But let's talk about that. Yes, PJ has a channel. It is GirlzLawn, and it is linked in it was linked in the original video. And here is the link right there.
So I think, I'm pretty sure, I'm 90% sure that it's Poetriv that came in and did some damage. Let's put it like that. So initially, the thought was when I first saw it, so I saw it in the end of last year, I saw it and I was like, and I had no idea what it was. I'm like, oh, my grass is still growing. Oh, wow, I'm still cutting. My last cut last year was January 1st because I was still out there cutting and it just kept growing. And I was like, wow. And having no idea what it was. I knew it was than the other grass, but I was like, oh, well, this is cool. I'm doing something. Well, as season went on, I found out that it was likely Poetriv. And, I did a lot of research, Poa annua versus Poetriv, and I'm pretty sure it's Poetriv. And so when it first started, it was like probably a 500 square foot area. And my plan was just dig it out and put some sod down, but then I hesitated for whatever reason. And it grew to, I would say it's at least 2,000 square feet of it over there on the side. So then I just kind of dug everything out and, hope for the best. I was going to seed and all that kind of stuff. My yard back there, luckily you can't see it from the street, but it was like, it was bad.
Yeah. And there's also really a lot of moisture back there as well, which he loves. And I have a theory, and we were talking about this theory is Who we got? Gigi Natural. Hey, how you doing? Tiffany and Gigi have subbed you already. Boom. Thanks for the support, y'all. So
Thank you.
because I noticed a few specks of poet that popped up on my side plot towards the far back, right? And I have a theory that when we're out here doing aerations, sometimes we're kicking this stuff up and giving it the opportunity to grab a foothold back into that into your lawn. I struggle with poetry. I called it grass herpes. I did a whole freaking four episode dissertation on it because I was determined to figure out what it was. When I saw it, I immediately, here's the thing, poetry would not be that bad of a grass type if it responded
Right.
and greened up to at least iron. You and I both agree.
Right.
Now, I don't love the texture of it because it almost feels like it's always wet. And then the other huge downside about Poet Trivialis is once the heat comes, you immediately think you've done something wrong because it just dies back so quick, so hard, and so fast. And then your lawn will literally peel up like carpet, like you have grubs. It just confuses the heck out of you. You don't know what it is. You think it's bent grass. You go through all these different options. Oh, lo and behold, just to find out it's Poet Trivialis, and it is a perennial style type grass. So it's stoloniferous. So if you don't get all the stolons up and out, which is why I went with cutting it out with a side cutter,
Yep.
you're going to be in a rough place, and it's like a uphill battle to fight. And it's just so sad to see it in a lush, green, thick, fescue yard because it's an eyesore. It's just all that work into getting it perfect. And then boom, and then what I thought was funny about your trip to the extension office was it just confused you even more.
It did, and I'm gonna do it again. I'm actually gonna do it again because they even sent me emails saying, there was some confusion. It's like, so I can't trust what they said. They said it's a hybrid bluegrass is what they were telling me it was.
Right.
Which
and
I know that poa is a form of bluegrass.
Right.
Not what they were saying. So
right. I challenge you. You know what? You're in VA. Send me a sample. Send me a sample, and I'm going to take it to my dude Andy, the county agriculture agent out here. Well, I can't. Well, maybe he'll let me drop it off because we're in round 3 or 4, whatever the heck is going on right now. But yeah, I'll drop it off, and I know Andy will get back with me and confirm. I know when I look at it, I see it on your screen. I'm like, that's poetry. Like, there's no question about it. It outgrows all the turf. Poa usually doesn't outgrow your turf. It'll stay low, short, and bushy. It's a bunching type formation of a grass, and it'll throw seed heads. Poetry, you never see any seed heads because you never let it get tall enough to see those seed heads because it's so much larger plant in nature. I went walking around here in the woods on this little trail, and I found it in nature. I think it was like spring of this year, and I actually threw it up on IG. I was like, yo, see, this is how big Poetry can get. It's a huge plant, these stalks, the seed heads, the fluorescence, inflorescence coming off of it. But I took one look, I was like, yep, that's Poetry. So I feel your pain. I'm so sorry for you. But just keep mowing and try to remove the conditions that that it prefers. Rip it out, reseed, rip it out, reseed, because eventually, hopefully, it'll give up. You know what I mean? It'll give up. But just be careful when it comes to if you aerate again, mechanically, and do a mechanical aeration, you're risking turning it back up and giving it an opportunity to kick again.
I don't plan on it, honestly. Since I've been here, I've never had it mechanically aerated.
Okay.
I've only been using the liquid aeration, and I don't plan on kicking up anything else over here in this yard.
Good call. And you've been using clean seed. The seed that you use is Super Seed Store.
Yep.
I think you used
for the very first time my yard was reseeded. This was right before I took over. Someone else did it. And he said he used the Let's Go seed, but he couldn't tell me much about it when I did start questioning him about it. So it's suspect.
Yeah. So you may have done it to yourself like I did. Shirley Weems. So hold on, wait. Let me back up. Next microgreen has about 3% iron if you were using that. You talking about me when I almost made my lawn black. I'm pretty sure I use, I think I tried to do a quad double dart thing. It was completely unnecessary and it went south. It almost went real bad.
Yeah.
And I think part of that was because my soil wasn't where it is today too. So just like, it was just too much. Shirley Weems has a question. She says, do you use, I don't know if you're talking about Milorganite or Muorganite, because those are two different products. But have you used Milorganite or that Muorganite?
I actually have. Funny story, which is pretty cool. It's very encouraging. I ended up on the Milorganite site, my backyard. I used it back there, and it did fantastically back there. I was using only that.
Right.
And then I did use it a couple times in the front, but I do prefer at this point, comparison-wise, the X Green 818.
Yeah,
that's
slamming. And this color, like it doesn't have much iron in it. I think it only has like 2% iron in it, but the color up green up on it.
Yeah, I prefer that for sure.
And it's so hard. It's so hard to mess up the application of that too. The only downside about it, if there is one downside, it's like really hard to see when you're spreading it. That's so it could
yes, it's dusty kind of.
Yeah, it can make you feel like you're not applying it right, but I promise you, I mean, that 818 is solid. I hope that answered your question, Shirley Williams. And yes, I used to use a lot of Milorganite as well, and I needed to use it because I did a soil test and I discovered, hey, I was low in phosphorus. So, but great stuff. It's fully organic now. Caution you, well, not caution, just disclaimer, when you use that stuff and it kicks in, when you walk out to your lawn 3, 4, 5, 6 days later, you're gonna know it's working.
Yeah.
Because it's almost like I felt the nitrogen coming off of the lawn, and it smelled like very distinct smell of success, as Alan Haynes says. So just keep that in mind. Don't think you did anything wrong. Because I walked outside, and I think this was early in the game, right? And let's take a step back to these Facebook groups. I went outside, and I was like, it felt warm in my, like, it felt like warmth, nitrogen was on my face. And I was like, oh my gosh, I did something wrong. And then I smelt it, and I was like, what is that smell? Oh my God. So I went in the group, and I was like, hey, has anyone had issues with like, I mean, feeling like your whole lawn is like 10 degrees warmer and this very pungent smell coming off of it? And they laughed me up out of that group. Like, and then I realized what it was, and I was like, okay, all right.
Funny, I never disliked the smell, honestly, but my family hates it. So
it's not like I disliked it. It was just, I thought I did something wrong.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
His is Tony. Okay, so TG, his is Tony. I think she means GG. This is Tony. Okay, this is Tony. Boom, I got you. What's up, Tony? I love and appreciate you, my brother. Love and appreciate you too, bro. Tiffany White says, I'm a dip to watch one of her vids real quick. Be right back. It's not going to take long. Her vids are short.
They are short, so she should be right back.
Yeah. Oh, did you miss what PJ and you and yourself had in common? You just got back to this? You did. She is a huge supporter and user of Greene County products. She rocks that Next Fertility line. So I know that you love your Greene County products. I do too. I used to use them. I just switched over to Simple Lawn Solutions because it's easier for me. And then boom. So that's what y'all have in common. Tiffany White, that was great. She has great vids. She does have great vids, doesn't she? Yes, thanks. You answered both questions. Cool.
Like I need to work on it.
What's that?
I feel like I need to work on those videos.
No, your videos are perfect. They reflect you in the most authentic way. I promise you. I just drove on the bridge that goes over the Milorganite factory this morning. Believe me,
how's that?
Close the windows and the vents. Chris says, "You go, girl. Love my GCF." Right. I mean, it's solid products for sure. So you're battling with the poetriv. You've accepted that, you know, some things are well within your grasp of doing something about. Some things that you got to kind of let nature take its course. You're pulling up as much as possible, trying to reseed it as much as possible. Let's talk about how has it changed, had any impact on your family life with your little ones? And how has it had any type of impact there, and like your quality of life, having that nice lawn?
Oh
Like for
man, yeah, there's so many different things, and I guess I never really sat and really thought about it. But my job is super, super stressful,
yeah,
and this has helped, like, de-stress me quite a bit. Um, my kids want to come out and help sometimes. One of my
that's cool.
girls is always pointing out weeds. She's like, "Is weeds in there? Get it out." That type of thing, and it's cute to watch. It's nice. She's a lover of nature, and so it's definitely helped me a lot, and it's something that I don't plan on ever giving up.
That's
To
cool.
some extent, I'm gonna stick with it. My dad, it's pretty cool because my dad's, kind of, he sees the work that I'm doing, and he's just like, you're doing a great job. He wants me to help him out. He
Right.
had actually stopped doing. He used to love to be out there all the time, and I was like, oh, how is he always out there? Like, whatever. But he stopped, and he hired somebody to do it for him. And then he saw what I was doing this year. And he's like, oh, I'm getting back out there. So it encouraged him to get back out in the lawn.
That's what's up. That's so cool.
So that's good. And I know I have some more challenges coming up. I've talked to Elevated Lawns a little bit about this. I want to see his video on blade sharpening. I need to
Yes.
know how to do that myself, because I have an ego. I put it in my car and took it up to the nearest shop and had someone take the blades off and sharpen them. Well, there's a couple different issues that I had with that. First of all, lifting the mower into the car wasn't pleasant. It wasn't hard because they're not super heavy, but it wasn't pleasant.
Right.
But I didn't feel welcome in the shop. And I do not think that they balanced the blades. So I've been using it this way since then, which was probably midsummer. And I can tell that something's off, but I cannot
vibrate.
Yeah, no, it doesn't really vibrate. But when you cut, I can see a little bit of uneven cut. And so I can't get it off with, I'm too weak. I can't get it off with a manual. So I'm looking for, right now, my goal in the off season is to find a angle grinder, set up so I can do my own blades.
Right.
Get them off there nicely, balance them, and put them back on. So if there is any type of, I don't know, I feel like most of my friends, females, would avoid power tools. Power tools scare me. They really do. But I mean, trimming scared me. So, and I conquered that. So I'll figure it out.
Crispy edges. I'm sure B. Davis, from a long time coming, would definitely approve of those edges you got over there. I want to back up real quick. You mentioned something, I forgot this. You run an electric mower on 6,000 square feet. Your choice of preference there is the Ego. Was the Ego the first one that you bought? Or did you go through a few before you land on that? And why did you end up landing on that? How was that process? Like, share us your story.
So
as I sip my coffee.
It's super funny, but I actually, the very first mower that I had,
it's getting cold now,
was actually one that I needed to plug in. And it was the funniest thing ever, because I had neighbors out there watching me getting tangled up in this cord trying to cut my grass. And I was like, I sent it back. Thankfully, I got it from Amazon. So I sent it back and I got the cordless one. So it was a Greenworks, and it was a nice mower. I didn't have a ton of complaints about it. The main reason I got rid of it is because the highest it would cut was 3.5, and I wanted something that was going to cut at least 4.
4.25.
Yeah.
And the Ego jacked up to there.
Yeah. So, and then doing a little bit of research after having some experience with it, I was, comparing. I almost got the Toro, but the reason that I didn't is because it was 30 pounds heavier than the Ego. And I was like, And the Ego was already about 20 pounds heavier than the Greenworks that I was used to. So,
and you're small, like you said, you're a small person. So I'm trying to think ahead. And that's why in the trade-off, you got a eco-friendly mower too that works and mulches very well, because your lawn looks really good. So if someone thinks that you can't have success with a battery mower, I mean, she went from the corded version. You know what I thought of when you said corded version? And I know, like, this movie is old, but he wasn't using a corded mower. But you remember the movie Little Shop of Horrors?
Yep.
And what's his name? Is his name Rick Moranis? Is that
Yep,
the
Rick Moranis.
yeah? His lawn was so nice. He was using a real mower though, but that's the first thing that popped up in my head. You took me back into like 1970s,
With my coworker.
It's like with your plug-in mower, like that's a dedication for real.
I
Love
didn't
notes,
want to
hey,
gas.
love notes. How you
Yeah,
doing?
gas scared me, and I knew for sure I didn't want to gas more. So
Okay, yeah, but
just have no interest in gas powered tools. None.
yeah. Now, rewind, fast forward back to what you were saying about getting your hand on a angle grinder. Harbor Freight. I don't know if it's still on sale, but I was in Harbor Freight, I think about 2 weeks ago. It's still in my trunk of my car. I got like 4 bags of black cow compost manure, 4 bags of topsoil, and a $10 angle grinder from Harbor Freight. So if you have a Harbor Freight local to you, go grab one of those, because I just grabbed one, and same as you, I'll be learning this spring on how to sharpen my own blades, because believe it or not, I have 2 blades. I used to have 3, and the reason why I only have 2 now is because I did not feel welcome when I took mine to get sharpened, to the point where I never even went back to go get it.
Yeah.
I never went back to go get it because I was just like, your service was less than desirable.
Yeah, did not feel welcome.
I'll figure it out on my own then, So, and I'll try to make conversation and be nice and everything, and they were just real mean for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, oh yeah, the Toro Time Master is heavy. It goes to 4 1/4. Yeah, I think most Toro mowers go to 4 1/4. Because that's where I rock my turf at through the whole summer. Like this past summer, the front, the back, well, except the back, but the back stays 10 degrees cooler because of my little microclimate and what side of the house it is. But my front was at 4 1/4. Right now, the front is at 2 1/4, either 2 1/4 or 2.5, one of those. And it's doing really well. Now, I also introduced a lot more Kentucky bluegrass into my front and my back, that granite blend, and it looks, I don't know, it looks the best it's ever looked in the entire time I've been here. And the only reason why I took it down that low is because Kenny Cooper, if you want to see someone maintain a ridiculous amount of land, go check out my dude, Kenny Cooper. But Kenny Cooper was like, yo, you got more of the good stuff in there. Drop your height of cut. And I was like, really? I was like, you know what? I'll do it. Because I think I was at 3 1/4. And he's like, drop your height of cut. And I was like, all right, I'll drop it. So I dropped it down a notch. And lo and behold, it just really took off. Not only did it look better at that height, but it really started spreading in a sprout and pout type phase. Because, Kentucky bluegrass just takes forever to get going. Yeah. Once it gets going, it's beautiful. So I got Kentucky bluegrass and fescue in the front and the back. And on the side, I got mostly perennial rye and a little bit of fescue in the works as well. And Kentucky bluegrass out there as well. So Cam, pressure's on, brother. We want that video from Elevated Lawn. Elevated Lawnscapes. He was such a tease in that video too, because he broke out the All-American sharpener. He talked about it, and you thought that he was going to show you how to use it, and then the video was over. I was like, bro, like you didn't show us how to use the daggone man. And then I messaged him. It's like, yo, I need you to do a video showing us how to use that bad boy, because I'm thinking about picking one up myself.
I mean, it's on my wish list, but I don't think I'm going to get it. That thing is the.
Is it on sale yet? Like, how much? They want $100 and something for that thing, right? How much?
No, it's like $256 for that thing.
$250?
Yes.
Oh no, I'm not buying that. But if you're watching this, I would definitely take one for a review. I'll do a review on one $250 for a video. That's a lot of time that goes into the video. That's almost fair. I wish I could find Black Cow. Nate told me about it, and of course, I can't get it here. Why not? That doesn't make any sense, because if Black Cow, there's nothing bad about it. Cali usually bans everything that's conceived as bad. So everything's illegal in Cali. I'm sorry, you should.
It seems like it. Wow.
You should move. No, I'm joking. That's how my husband sharpened my blades. He got the angle grinder from Harbor Freight. Boom. See?
Well, I saw a video recently where somebody, A-Yin, I don't know if you're familiar with him. A-Yin.
AN. Oh yeah, AN. I know AN.
Yeah. He used the file to do his, and
yeah, that. Be careful with that though.
right.
You know, because I filed one and it turned out all right. AN, you can watch him when he does it because he's very
smooth.
he's very smooth with his motions. There's a very particular way you have to do it or you'll mess up your blade forever.
Yep.
But AN is a really good. He's a good guy. Now, so I've seen plenty of people do it simply without the All-American sharpener. I believe the whole point of using the All-American sharpener is because you're guaranteed to get that proper angle every single time. You know, so as long as you use the right technique. But I mean, I've seen people just throw it on the brick, put a foot on it, check to see if it's balanced. It's balanced, cool, and call it good. Simplified it. So. But AN, that dude, he's got a nice lawn.
Those edges, man.
He's got the most beautiful St. Augustine lawn I've seen ever. It's even better gorgeous. Than Alan Haynes. It almost considers me. I almost make a consideration of getting St. Augustine if it didn't feel like straight trash on your feet. So, yeah, prop 65. What you got on proper Conazole 65? Chris. Please do share. Tell me more. All right. So weed eater of choice. Do you use Ego? That's electric as well. I can't remember if that's an Ego as well.
Actually, I just got an early Christmas present where I got the Ego trimmer and blower.
Yeah, you said that you were trying to. That's what you wanted, right?
Yeah, I got it. Nice. But prior to that, I was using the Greenworks trimmer, and for the longest time, I would try to edge with it, and then just one day it just worked. So then, it gives a really good edge. I like Greenworks products. Honestly, I do.
Right.
One of the main reasons I wanted to just switch over because I love my Ego mower. So I just wanted one ecosystem of batteries. So I'm not, I would recommend the Greenworks for sure, but I just personally just don't want to maintain so many different battery ecosystems. So.
Right. That makes sense. Consolidate as much as possible. Yeah, Greenworks, if you're watching, I'm so sorry. I don't think we're too much more fan than, I don't think they like me too much because the video I did with the dethatcher. But I mean, that dethatcher, like I said, that dethatcher works really well. It does its job. The only gripe was for the price point, I feel like you should have provided a better battery.
Right.
But, and an attachable for, the tines versus the Scarifier. I just think for the price point, you could have given us one or the other. And that's where I lay there. That's why they don't sell Black Cow, because it has Proposition 65. Is that what you're saying? I don't know. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. I flap my blades and replace it yearly. Okay. The price on the All-American sharpener is my one negative. Is definitely pricey. By the way, I did say that in my video. He did. Yeah, I remember you saying it was. I already knew it was pricey. I just didn't realize. I've never gone to see how much it costs, and I was putting it at I was comfortable with $100, $125 to something.
Yeah.
I mean, but you know what? You know why that makes so much sense for you, Cam? Though, because you have a lawn care business as well. So, that's an investment that's going to. It's worth its weight for you. You're gonna get so many uses out of that it'll eventually pay for itself after 2 years. but I mean, consider it takes $10, $10 to $12 to get your blade sharpened. You're mowing a lot of lawns. You're probably sharpening your blade monthly.
Yep.
That racks up really quick, especially if you got more than one blade you're working. Proposition 65, it's all about toxic enforcement in Cali, yeah. But like I said, Black Cow, whatever. I guess it's a law that they put in place that in other states contains products that may cause cancer. BYD's in the building. How about that? What's going on, BYD? So Proposition 65, and it contains products that may cause cancer. I guess they've determined that Black Cow may cause cancer. Okay.
I've never even heard of that, so I don't know what you guys are even talking about right now.
Well, Black Cow?
Yeah.
It's a cow manure. It's great stuff. I think it's 0.5 as far as the NPK, but it's it's a clean compost that a lot of gardeners use. Lawn care addicts, they top dress their soil with it all the time. Like I think the turf tamer, he has this regimen where he swears by a whole bunch of black cow. He spreads it on his lawn every year. He's got a golf course type style lawn. I've seen plenty of YouTubers growing it. I've been using it. I used it on the side plot, that flower bed area. That's where the dahlias get most of their food from, is the black cow. So I don't know. Oh well. He said that's why he had to smuggle. Yeah, you used to have to smuggle the Green County fert until they changed the labels. Everything causes cancer. Exactly. Like, I know people left and right coming up with cancer that never smoke or drink in their life. So, it is what it is. Maybe they should outlaw gum as well in Cali, because that probably causes cancer. Who knows? Okay, so you're prepping. I mean, you're pretty much in the fall. You're winding down. I think we're going to be mowing probably up until December. What you think? Like, you're in Virginia. You're further south than me, and my weather has been just ridiculous. I think we might be getting a true frost here in a couple of days, maybe because it shifts like every other day. I think we might be mowing until Christmas. I really do.
One of my biggest hangups here with lawn care is patience. I've learned a lot of it lately, since I've been doing it, but I don't have a lot, patience. And I wanted to drop my last spurt when the soil temps were reaching 40. Mm-hmm. But I couldn't wait, and I dropped the micro blend. Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna be cutting it. I'm gonna be cutting.
So I was kind of in a similar boat as you, because Justin's in the building. He said, "Hey, girl, Justin the Lawn Whisperer." Of course, Justin.
I have seen his videos.
Yeah. Cool season lawn out there crushing it. He said, "Hey, girl," but so. So for me in Maryland, we have blackout dates. I don't know if you have them in VA.
No.
But either November 14th or 15th. Today is the 15th. So either it was yesterday or today. That was it for FERT up until I think March. Yeah, March. I think it's like mid-March is when I can do another application of nutrients. Now I could get out there. I can apply biostim type stuff like humic acid, seaweed, fulvic acid, things like that. I can spray my worm tea in some regards because it's more so packed with micronutrients and not a whole bunch of stuff. But that's because of the Baywise Conservation Water Act that they have out here. So that's cool. But I had to get mine down like 4 days ago because I'm technically not even supposed to be here right now. Like, you see me here, but I wasn't supposed to be here. I was supposed to be out of town, but the thing that I was supposed to do ended up got moved. It got canceled. Things were adjusted. So I'm here. So I would have waited until yesterday to do my application because we got a nice rain coming in tomorrow, but I actually had to get it in while it was pretty warm outside. And since I had to do it while it was pretty warm outside, I just had this whole new spurt of growth. I put down, I think, about 0.47 pounds of nitrogen, and I just use Carbonax. That's what I had readily available.
Yeah.
So I just spread it the Carbonax, didn't complicate. I think I did the same thing last year, and the lawn popped. I mean, it was already looking good, but it popped again. And I've just been mowing it as much as possible. And my leaves, I see a lot of people out there bagging leaves, and trigger warning, why? Like, if you don't have to bag your leaves, that leaves is free organic material, and it's loaded with phosphorus depending on the plant that it's coming from as well. And if you're in a place where you can't put phosphorus down or you need phosphorus, you should be mulching those leaves in as much as possible. Now, that requires a bit more work during this time of year. I understand you'd have to be on your lawn like every other day. Mm-hmm. But in the long term, when you're working with soil like yours, that's not really soil, it's some construction grade rocky garbage.
Yeah.
Mulching those leaves back in as much as possible is what you really should be aiming to try to do out here.
Yeah, I just get so many because I back up to wetlands and a whole bunch of trees. So I've raked some of it up. I've blown it back into the wetlands with the blower. But going forward, because I know I'm going to have to mow again, but going forward, I'm just going to mulch them all in and leave it at that because most of the leaves are by now. So
Right. Yeah. Well, most of them are gone. Now I get it. Like when they're super wet and they're, it's a heavy blanket of them.
Yep.
Sometimes you definitely need to go ahead and bag them.
Yep.
But if you get out there just a little bit more regularly, they won't pile up. And especially if you get a break in this wet, moisture climate that we got going on, mulch those things in as much as possible, guys.
Yeah.
Mulch it in. Yeah. Okay. So Cam's in Maryland. He'll be on the channel next week, guys. And he says, yes, today is the last day for FERT in Maryland. And then we come out of that blackout zone somewhere in March, right? March or April. Which one is it, bro? Love Notes. She said they had a lot of problems with water runoffs from areas that use cancer-causing agents and contaminated their water supplies. Yeah, they have a shortage of water there as well. Yeah, Cali, Cali has a whole slew of issues. Yeah. I don't understand why anyone would want to live there. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. I want to get my sticker on that cabinet in the background. That was Lawn Whisperer. He said he wants it, and he's got a dope sticker. I think Lawn Whisperer probably has one of the coolest stickers out there, just because it's you find beauty in the simplest things. It's just a circle with a W, and it's the color scheme that he has rocking with it. So
I thought I had his up there.
I don't see it. I don't see it. Nah, I don't see it.
Yeah, hit me up on Instagram.
I don't see it. I see Turfman. I see Sunny Bermuda. I see Bermuda Boss. I see all types of people. No, I know why I'm not up there, because I'm trash and I haven't.
Yeah, you said it yet. I love stickers, man. I swear. I love the lawn community. Everyone is so helpful and so nice, and it's awesome. Getting these stickers is like getting an Amazon box for me.
It's cool. March 1st. Okay, that's when my blackout period ends, is March 1st. Okay, cool. So does anyone have any questions for our delighted guest? And is there any other things that you want to share with the people? Give them some more words, but it looks like the weather, no snow. Oh, that's why people move there. But I mean, you could do the same in Florida, and the water's much warmer, I think, too. So I guess you got hurricanes. So yeah, all right.
Yeah. Well, if anybody has any questions, that's cool. But the only thing I have, man, is just I just want to tell everybody I appreciate anyone who's ever given me the some advice along my journey. I appreciate it, and I'm always open for feedback and advice. So just keep it coming. That's all I have to say. Keep it coming.
Keep it coming. So you got any plans? What is your content for this winter? Are you just going to take a break, spend time with the family? Are you going to do anything creative? Are you like,
I don't have any plans for any content. If something comes to me, then, I'll obviously, because I need the practice. So if something comes to me that I feel like is going to be useful, then I'll do a video. But I definitely don't want to be, putting out anything that's not useful to anybody. So, something will happen. I do. I'm building a workbench. My stuff came yesterday, building myself a new workbench, because I needed that. But whether I put that in a video or not, I don't know. But
the one who doesn't like power tools is now building a workbench. Okay. All right. I like it. And then what about this upcoming spring? What are your plans coming into next year's season?
I'm excited. I'm excited to help my dad. I'm excited to finally put what I feel like is going to be my finalized plan into place. I'm going to follow a strict plan of what I'm putting down and when I'm putting it down next year. So I'm excited to see that. And, I don't know, maybe one of my neighbors will let me play around with their yards. They're always asking me questions and things. So we'll see how that goes.
Go ahead and recruit them. Get you a Marcus like my neighbor. I just kind of tell him what to do and he does it. He has to do the work of his own, but I kind of just guide him and push him along the way. And it's cool to create your own little competition on your rock the block.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Let's get it done.
Yeah, that's the true way to rock the block. Have your whole block just greened out. As soon as you turn, it's like boom, nothing but a green city.
Yeah,
floating down. That's cool. So yeah, and I think you mentioned it in your video that you dropped today, and then you just hinted towards it again. This is the time to really start to put together a plan as far as how you are going to attack the season this spring, and do your research on whatever you discovered. If you did do a soil test, if you didn't, then BYD just subbed your channel. turned with all the notifications turned on. He didn't hit all the bells.
Nice.
So
I appreciate it.
yeah. So yeah, I think that that's cool and important for other people to know. You know, don't become complacent. Every mow counts, especially with all these leaves. This this free phosphorus, not so much nitrogen. Those browned up leaves don't carry a lot of nitrogen, but the free phosphorus, free organic material to put back in your lawn, and really think about what your lawn care plan is going to be. My wife says your t-shirts are nice. Yeah, so she's got the
Did you like
shirt.
it?
Yeah, she's got the shirt. I only got to take a picture with it, and then I gave it to her.
Yeah,
Just a
the shirts
little
are
too
all
small
of
for
this
me.
stuff for me right now. All of this stuff is a hobby. I love stickers. I love the shirts. I'm just a t-shirt, sweatpants kind of person.
Yeah.
And with the shirts, you know, it's funny. A friend of mine did them for me, and he actually did way too many. And so, you know, I appreciate everyone who's purchased a shirt for me. It's not going to be like an ongoing thing for me. So you'll have a special edition shirt that, you know.
Oh,
Yeah, there you
boom. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
go. Yeah.
Justin said, BYD, I'm still waiting for my zero turn from the steel bag. that bag he had a hat inside the bag, and he was like, you got a zero turn in the bag. I guess that's what he's talking about. Yeah, so that's cool, man. So yeah, guys, take this time during the fall, get hip, do what you. So if you haven't done a soil test, and you finish your season without doing a soil test, and you've already made your winterizer application, now is not a good time to pull one. But if you wait until your lawn's about to come out of dormancy, or at least until the ground softens up somewhere around February, March, depending on your area in the transition zone, then you can turn around and do your soil test then. Now, you'd be a little bit behind the power curve because you haven't had a whole month to have, or 2 or 3 months indoors to really just dial in what your plan is going to be and get a whole bunch of confusing information that's going to lead you down a few different roads. But at the very least, you have some type of idea of how you need to foster and guide your lawn to a point where it becomes self-sustaining. There's a coworker of mine, Gerald. His name's Gerald. The dude, he's so cool. He's almost like the uncle I never had. He's really dope, old school dude. And he got me when I was looking into getting my lawn together. He was like, "Yeah, you know that fescue does good out here." That was what he told. I said, "Yeah, what you do to your lawn?" He was like, "Man, I just mow it." So he's been in his lawn. He's been in his house for 10 years,
Yeah.
and he has just been mowing his lawn for 10 years, and he has very little issues. I want to get like that one day. Now, I know I'm not in my forever home right now, but when I do get there, I love the simplicity of, he was like, yeah, I used to have a lot of issues. You know, I did the lime, got my pH right. You know, I hired a company. I did that for a year. And then, you know, I just took my lawn back, and the things that I usually mostly do is I feed it a few times a year. I mow it as frequent as possible. And then I make sure it gets some water. And then everything else kind of just balances out. So I think that's awesome to know that that's definitely possible for you to achieve like this state in your lawn where it self-sustains itself by just doing the simple cultural practices. And I think it's cool that that's the direction that you're going to try to take your lawn into. Moving forward, understanding that you got some soil humidification that needs to take place in order to really get that real solid foundation that you need. PJ, you seem like a solid lady.
Thank you.
I'm about and work on my own yard. But
that's Tiffany, right?
Yeah, Tiffany.
Yeah.
She says she looks forward to seeing you around +10. That would be awesome to have no issues with your lawn. Now, I think, you know, I'm sure he has issues here and there, but they're probably far and few in between.
Right.
My University of Georgia Extension guy said, try to get one before you apply your first spring app of any product. Exactly. Yep. I get one every 3 or 4 years, but as long as my lawn is responding to my program, I'm good. Exactly. And that's another thing, guys. You don't need to do a soil test every year. Matter of fact, you probably shouldn't do a soil test every single year because it's going to mislead you unless you're just trying to check one specific thing. Like, I want to see how much my pH moved. I wouldn't really, like he said, most soil tests are meant to be taken every 3 to 5 years because it takes some time for those applications that you're doing to really have some type of effect within your soil. And so as long as it's still responding, you should be in good shape. So I completely agree with BYD. Elevated Lawnscapes, I would love to have a just mow lawn. Right. Yeah. And I think that's what we all want, right?
Yeah.
Essentially, like, I just want to feed it a
Yeah.
few times a year, mow her, keep her watered, and she looks good. One issue, Rob, is people keep switching programs throughout the year. What you just said helps with that info. Yes. So
I agree with that.
Pick a program.
Yep.
Stick with it. Don't hop on a new shiny whistle because some person, like,
don't burn your pockets.
Right. If you are going to do something like that, just make sure, like, it's okay to supplement within your plan, right? So, like, if you already knew I wanted to rock with 818 through the year for whatever reason, based off your soil test, and then the new product comes out that looks like it's 818 plus, just understand when you introduce that into your program, you're supplementing that one thing. Now, that's risky, right? Because it's a newer product. You don't know how it's going to react. But all I'm saying is if you're going to make decisions like that, make an educated decision for sure. I need lawn issues, helps me decompress. Chris said he needs his lawn issues. It helps me decompress. A perfect lawn would suck. I would have a bigger honeydew
list.
Bro, no, that means you just got to start a garden. That's what that means. You start growing your own food. That's how that.
That's the next challenge for me too.
Oh, it ain't a challenge. We're gonna get you there. Yeah, we're gonna get you there. As soon as I can make it, the VA, we're gonna set you up with a garden. Yeah, that'd be our first collab, possibly. Let's get you a garden. Y'all want to see PJ in the gardening industry, in the garden world, out there growing her own,
Yeah, this year's attempt was a big fail. I think I had some pictures on my Instagram of that happening.
It happens to most, believe it or not. People struggle with gardening, and usually it's because they won't just leave the plants alone. That's usually what it is. Either they won't leave them alone or they left them alone too long. One of those two things. All right, then the third thing is abiotic. It had nothing to do with you. It had everything to do with your own, your environmental effects that were happening. So whether it be weather, droughts, aphids, those daggone aphids, oh my gosh, terrible. Yep, growing your own food could decompress. Facts, see? There we go, Love Notes agrees. All right, guys, well, that pretty much wraps this up. I am so honored that PJ, you took the time to come on and hop on here with us this Sunday afternoon.
I appreciate you, man. Thanks for having me on here, for real.
Yeah. I love your channel. I love what you're doing. I think that you're a positive message, reassurance to, although there should not be a difference, there is, between the male and the female comparison in the lawn care game. And what you are is a shining light for that community, for your community, as far as, girls rock, we can do this too. And you're doing it. I mean, you're doing it like you've been doing it your whole life. Your lawn looks amazing.
Thank you.
You really do things simple. I really like that. So if any time you're like watching one of my videos and you feel overwhelmed because I'm just doing too much, I like to nerd out. That's who I am.
Yeah.
If you want somebody that's just going to kick it straight to you, go check out GirlzLawn. PJ, she's going to be your woman. She's going to take care of you. Plus, those poets can survive for years. And they sure can. Those poets, they can. Yeah. Yep. I want to venture into garden, but I'm scared. I need to get with Green Organic Love. She's like 15 miles away from me. Yeah, you do. Much love, Gardening Hood. All right, Tony, brother, thanks for popping in. So that's all we got here. Nice meeting you, PJ. We'll watch your story. Yep. Yeah. Suzette, that's my big.
I'm looking down on my phone. I'm looking at the comments. So
yeah, I forgot that you had the comments too. So I'm just so used to having to read them. I have plenty of handcuffs to take out the haters' piece. You got a cop on your side. SoCal Lawn in Order. That's what you need. You got a call on your side already.
Love SoCal.
Yeah. Yeah. You just need to move, bro. Leave that state. Retire and move. But that's it. Yeah, thank you.
All right.
I look forward to see what you're doing.
Thank you, man.
Paul, if we see you again, and I look forward to eventually coming to see you. You don't live far from me. Throw a rock and I can hit you.
Nice.
And I'm very interested in helping you getting your garden started. And who knows, y'all might see PJ again this winter back here on the channel. Because like I said, I'm going to be bringing you people that you didn't know exist, and I'm going to show you the other side of them that you might not see in their footage. I just want you to get to know them a little better because I like them, and I think you would like them too if you like me. So all
right. We appreciate you, man.
Yeah. Without further ado, we won't take up any more of your time this wonderful Sunday. I love you. Hit the like button like Love Knows says, please, on your way out. And please go check out her channel. I will be updating it in the description of this video. And I'll drop her link one more time right here. And she has an Instagram channel as well. Go check out her Instagram channel. Be safe.
Thank you, guys.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Yeah. Happy holidays, everybody.
All right.
All right. Bye.
Bye.